Spoilers. Needless to say, this video will contain spoilers. I'm going to go through the first 6 episodes of the latest series of Doctor Who and share my thoughts and go into a little bit of detail about things. I was originally going to do this once the 10th series had finished, but series 10 has been so incredible that I've got so many thoughts. I have to do this now. I cannot wait any longer. So I guess the most important thing to address first of all is Bill. I was not looking forward to Bill as a character. I'm so fed up of younger companions. I want somebody around about Donna's age again. I thought that relationship was brilliant. I was wrong. Bill is incredible. Pearl Mackie is a fantastic addition to the show. Her relationship with the Doctor is amazing. The way she responds to situations is incredible because she's not so scared that the Doctor has to protect her, but she's not completely kind of unaffected by anything that it's unbelievable. She's just got a perfect balance. She's very funny, very wonderful, and one of my favourite companions, maybe my second favourite companion of all time. Also, I know a lot of people have issues with Nardole. Personally, I've always liked Nardole. And so far, 6 episodes into this one, yeah, I think he's bringing a lot of humour to it. My favourite line he's ever said is, "Some of my friends are bluish." I still cannot think about that without laughing. It's perfect, really perfect. So now for the episodes, let's start with the pilot. Obviously the pilot was all about character building for Bill and giving us an introduction to her and giving us a catch up with where the Doctor is, and we get the introduction to the mystery thing that he is hiding. I thought the pilot was a fantastic introduction to Bill, and I loved the way the Doctor took the puddle and made it something terrifying. I love it when Doctor Who takes ordinary objects and parts of our lives and makes us fear them, kind of like the Weeping Angels until that was done to death. So yeah, I have no issues with the pilot. I think most people praised it, and it was just stunning. And the Dalek, having a Dalek in the first episode, it was incredible. Smile is one that did make me smile because I thought, what are you doing, Doctor Who? Why are you making an episode all about emojis? How trying to be down with the kids can you get? But actually it was sensational. It was so white and pure, and yet when you had the death elements, it had a really great contrast of the white technology purity with the dark, gritty, earthy elements of the skulls and things, and the fact that everybody else could see the mood that the person was in, but not that person, I thought was really great. I loved it. There was nothing wrong with it. I know a few people had issues with the plot development and that the ending wasn't very good, and I do admit that the ending fell a little bit flat. But honestly, I loved it. Some of my favourite Doctor Who episodes, most of them in fact, are when we go back in time. That was certainly the case with Thin Ice. I kind of felt like it was a very mishmash of things. There were a lot of different elements going on there, and having the Thames frozen with something living underneath it is very realistic. I mean, if we had a sudden drop in temperature, who knows what's lurking under there that's going to surface. And it was so gritty, and we obviously got a lot of emotive elements from Bill, and having Bill as this racial source really gave the show a different dimension that it's not really explored that much before. And having children actors in this kind of really honed in on that family aspect of the show. And again, 3 episodes in, I am loving it. Knock knock. I cannot believe how amazing this was. As a horror fan, I love anything that kind of plays on the horror genre, and this was very much what this episode was doing, with walls that would consume you. And a lot of people have issues with the ending of this one, but I think the concept of a creaky old house, students moving in, a lot of people can relate to this, and then it becoming kind of terrifying, and the Doctor turning up as Bill's grandfather, I thought was so sweet and lovely. And the issue a lot of people had was that at the end, as I said, spoilers, they all come back out of the house, and most people have said, well, why is it only them? Why have the previous meals not come back? My theory is that they hadn't been fully digested yet, so they still had time, but who knows. But I thought the characters were lovely, and it had a very poignant ending, very emotive and very effective. Penultimate for the first half is Oxygen. What I love about this is it broke me really, because I've always said I hate the spacesuit episodes apart from the Satan Pit. But after David Tennant, every spacesuit episode has just made me roll my eyes because they're cliche and boring and not interesting. But zombies, where the spacesuit is the cause of the problem, it was great. It threw a lot in there and a lot to keep us interesting, and I thought visually it was really compelling. And yeah, I can no longer say I hate all of the spacesuit episodes. Which brings us up to the midway point extremis. I have a love-hate relationship with this one. First of all, it was completely obvious that it was Missy in the box. Is it a box? Can I call it a box? A vault? I don't know. It was Missy, and I didn't expect that when she came back into it, it would be flashbacks. I thought from the trailer it looked like she was back in the present timeline. The fact that we have River's journal was a bit of a disappointment, because I honestly thought when we saw it in the trailer that she'd be back, even though I knew that they'd done with that story. But it was a bit heartbreaking. The fact that we're dealing with the Vatican and the Pope, and the fact that they made that humorous when the Pope was in Bill's bedroom, I thought that bit was very clever. The way this episode developed, I wasn't expecting. The only thing... There are a few issues I have with this episode, but by no means do they make it bad. It was complex, but we've had 5 very straightforward episodes that I think were allowed something a bit more intricate, whereas Matt Smith's final series was so complicated nobody could keep up. But this one was a bit more intense, but it worked. It wasn't so intense that we couldn't kind of understand things. It kind of felt like a 2-parter, but the trailer for the next episode doesn't really look like it, so I kind of feel very unsatisfied with the ending of this episode. And the Doctor being blind, a lot of people have said, this is getting old, what's the point? And I was thinking that, but then I read an article online that said that it could be the way that the Doctor regenerates, because he has to fix his own eyesight and it drains him. I don't know. But there's a lot to come. We're halfway through. I feel like we're only scratching the surface. It's really, really exciting. I'm glad that I've done this halfway through, because this video is longer than I had intended it to be. But I'm just so... This is my second to Series 2. Series 10 is my favourite Doctor Who series. I love Capaldi. I will break my heart when he leaves. Bill is fantastic. Even the niggles from the 6th episode, everything is perfect. I would love to know what you're thinking of this 10th series, so do let me know in the comments, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye!